for people. Uh, I realized that after the upgrade, a lot of people are still finding it difficult to be able to use the website to do the trading. So that is why I'm coming out with this short video for all those who are having a clear problem to be able to solve that. So in this tutorial, I'm going to use one of the VIPs that has just been paid to do trading so that it will be of help to someone outside there. So let me start to sign in and then take you through on how to be able to do a simple trading. And most of the times I always say that before you do anything, you need to make sure that you have a very good network before you be able to do better trading, because once you have a good network, you are on your way to having success whenever you are trading. So I'm going to log in with this password, with this username, and then I'll input my password, and then we can now move on to see how we'll be able to do trading. Okay, so yes, there are little challenges with the app as we are all facing it ever since it was launched, but I think we need to bear with it as time goes on. I know CHY is actually building on it to come out with a good network for us to be able to do better work and better job. So sometimes when you're logging in, it takes a while. When you're trading too, it takes a while. So all you need to do is just to exercise patience whenever you are doing trading or whenever you're doing whatever activity on it, so that you wouldn't get bored, you wouldn't get frustrated when things are not working for you the way you want to go about it. So if you have been following my other tutorials, I taught you how you'll be able to check your balance to see whether your trade is still on consignment or it has been paid. So if you have no knowledge on how to check your balance, whether it has been paid or is still on consignment, I want you to search for Worried About CHY Points. Then you get that video, or you can give me a comment on the description below. Then I will give you the link to follow. And if this is your first time of watching my channel, I also want you to give me a thumb up and subscribe. Because when you subscribe, anytime I come out with a video, you'll be able to follow it and you'll be able to know what is updated. So try and give me a thumb up, try and give and subscribe so that family will grow. So we are on the interface now. So as usual, here on this video, we're going to do new trading. So you just navigate, and after you log in, the interface will look like this. So you scroll to your left hand side, and then you see new retail. Okay, so when you see new retail, that is actually where your trading is gonna be. So this is how it will look like, and you have to make sure that you keep it highlighted in order for you to be able. So you pick your new retail. This is your new retail. Okay, so when you pick your new retail, then you make sure that you highlight it. Immediately you highlight it, then it will take you to different interface. So as I said earlier on, you need to be very much patient, because the network is not actually good, or CY is still building on it. Remember, there was a comic that came out that is still on trial. Okay, it is still on trial, so don't expect it to work faster as Saru app used to be or Saru link used to be. So after you have clicked on the new retail, this is what will pop up. This is what you are going to see. So you see that $50 quantum ring has shown up. It's still loading, but you see we have $100 if you are scrolling to your left, and we have $300 for VIP 4, and we have $600 for VIP 5. So depending on the VIP that we are going to trade with. So on this tutorial we are using VIP 2 to do our trading. So now you just tap on the image of VIP 2 or $50. When you do that, then you'll be able to move to the next link. Okay, you'll be able to move to the next link, and then when it is loaded like this, then you navigate your way. Now this is where I am always particularly concerned. Now most people look and get to this aspect, but they forget to highlight this one. That's the number one, and then the picture, the number two. So these particular ones are very, very important, that without you selecting them, don't expect anything to be done. So now that you do that not by marking like this, but you click or you tap on it. So let me demonstrate it. So after I tap, you see that the one has changed to something like red. The box has changed to something like red, and the picture I will also select that, so you can see that it is loading up. So you exercise patience. Now it is fully loaded. So now we have buy and we have add to chart. Okay, so most of the times when it comes to like this, when you are following buy, it will take you to another step, and then from there you follow to chart or to add to chart. So what I usually do is I would select add to chart instead of buy. Okay, that's for me, but I don't know about you. So if you have any suggestions with regards to that, you can also bring it out, so that we'll all learn from each other. So on this tutorial, I'm going to do it add to chart, not buy now. Okay, so I pick add to chart, and then as I said earlier on, when it comes to this aspect, your internet will count, and to the link to will count. Okay, but here is the case. I told you earlier, CHY came out with a notice and made us to understand that the link is still on trial. Okay, so we don't expect it to be so smooth or so fast like the way Sarimore was. Yes, and this is the kind of message people normally get whenever they try. So when it happens like there's no magic in this. Okay, this is because the link is still on trial. Okay, the link is still on trial because they came out with another suggestion that initially the link was chymore.net, but they noticed that almost everybody or members of CHY were logging in with www.chymore.com. See, so they are working very hard to change the interface or the website to www.chy.com, because that's what people are familiar with, and that is the request people are making. So because of that, Google has to generate its own link for that. So there are sometimes when you do www.chymore.com, you see that something like that will pop up, but it will be written in Chinese language. Okay, so if you are not careful, you might not understand what is happening, but that is the case. But when you do www.chymore.net, it will take you onto this interface. So they are building on it each and every day. The team is working on it. So what I normally do is that I'll make sure that I'll try as many as 4 to 5 times. Okay, so this is my second trial, and boom, it has succeeded. So anytime it happens like that, you just have to be patient enough to try again, and sometimes when you try 3 to 4 5 times and it still doesn't go, then you just have to exercise patience and check another time. So you see that though it has been successful, it is still loading up. Okay, it is still loading up because on the ad tab above, I'm supposed to have seen that it's loaded at least one here. Okay, one should be loaded so that it will show that my trading has successfully gone through. But you see that it's still standing still. Okay, so in that case, what do I do? You just have to exercise patience, as I said, and sometimes too you try to refresh the page. When you refresh the page, either it will load up to where your next particular point. Okay, so now you see that after I've refreshed the page, you see that my add to chart one has come. Okay, so let me highlight that place for you to understand where I am talking about. So you can see that now here we have one. Okay, we have one there. So what you need to do is that you tap on it, it will load up whatever information is there. So when it loads up, this is what will come out. Okay, so others will say they will pick select all, but I always prefer that you select here. Why? Because do not select this one. Why? Because this one means that if you have previously done some new retail, like you bought a new retail and it didn't go through and it is pending here, and you do another one, okay, and you come and you do select all, immediately you do select all, the two will be highlighted. So in that case, if you have more than enough points on your CHY column, then it means that it's going to purchase 2 items on this new retail instead of 1 item. And some will ask, so what will be the next 10? Yes, the next thing is that if it happens that way, you have to consult the office for help or for your points to be restored to you. And you can see the frustration, you can see what you are supposed to go through. And so sometimes, like, you can like my page, as I said earlier on, and leave your comment, leave your problems here. I will try to make a video to address to that, so that the family can grow, so that we can all make money in CHY. But in this case, as I said, I'll rather go on and select on the on that box next to the ring, okay, where I've marked correct. Okay, so let's select that one and see. So you see that after I've select has gone, it has run on to select all, but it's rather see if this way. Then if you select all, this box will actually be selected. But as I explained on, if you have 2 or more three pending, then it means that it's all going to be selected and you find yourself wanted. So now let's see how we are going to do our payment. So we will navigate. You have to scroll to your left hand side. That if you are using a phone, but if it is a laptop you are using, then it will be down the screen of your laptop. The laptop has a wider screen and everything, you can see it. So you navigate to your left hand side, that is if you are using a phone, and you locate something like go to pay. So you see that we have go to pay here. Okay, we have go to pay here. So this go to pay is where you actually have to tap. So when you press on this one and you have a good network, you have a good network, as I said, then it is supposed to take you to this network. So you can see this is the first trading I'm going to do on this VIP2. after the upgrade. Okay, so understand what I'm saying. After the upgrade, you remember see salarymore.com, you had your addresses already there, so immediately you do trading, it picks up automatically for you. But this upgrade, you need to add your address. Okay, so you come and press on add new consignee. Okay, consignee, you have to select that one. You have to make sure that that one is selected. So when you press on that one, this is what will pop up. So most of the time, because it's a phone, okay, because it's a phone, most of the times we have that difficulties in seeing the full screen. So sometimes you can decide to turn the notification so that the phone turns upside down, so that you have a wider screen. Okay, so when you have a wider screen, then you'll be able to cap whatever information you are going to put up. So here, then we are asked to input our name and our phone number and that of our address. So the name of the consignee, or um, the name of the consignee, or the name of the person who is doing or who is buying the product. Okay, so you see that I'm finding it difficult because it's a phone. Okay, so sometimes you just have to make sure that you find you get patience for yourself, so that you'll be able to navigate through to get to where you want to get to. So new consignee. So he's giving me tough time here, but you still need to be patient enough to be able to get what you want. Okay, so this is how a form will look like. So the name of the consignee. So if it is yours, you just make sure that you type your real name on it. But if it's not yours, whoever you are doing it for, make sure that you type the person's name. Then afterwards, you put the number of the filo. Okay. Make sure that you put, and then afterwards, you fill in the address. Okay. So on this tutorial, I'm using this address. So you see that actually it's very simple, but not that simple because of whichever device you are using to do your trading. So if you were using a laptop, which I always do, it's always very short, or it's always very simple than if you're using a phone. Because at the phone, or if you're using the phone at a point in time, you need to do some upside down, turn up here and then everything. So someone will ask, so why didn't you use the laptop in the, so that using this, so that those who are also using phones will get to know how to follow up. So after I'm done with that, I have subsided it again and it's back to the normal screen. Then you submit. Okay, so you see that I've submitted successfully. Okay, but you see that it's still kind of like it's empty, so you have to scroll up. Okay, so after the address was input and the phone number and the name, the full name, so you can see that we have everything now seated on up here. Okay, so this is the address. This is address of the user. Okay, so now, but I've not yet highlighted it. So because I've not yet highlighted it, I can't go ahead to do it. If I click on payment, it will still say that I have to go select address. Meanwhile, I have entered the address. So what I will now do is that I will tap on the address. So you can see that it has highlighted. Okay, you can see that it has highlighted. How would you know that it has been highlighted? You can see that the box has even changed color, and then you can see that at the down bottom here, okay, you see something like this, something like it has been ticked. So in that case, it means we have done the right thing. So now we scroll again to see where we can continue to do our payment. Okay, so that's what you're using a phone. It's kind of a little bit challenging, but it's not difficult. It's just that at a point in time you need to do some upside down. But if you are just following, so you can see that we now have a continue to pay down here after we have navigated. Okay, so this is where we'll have to click. So after we click on that, as I said earlier on, good network is always very, very, very important to aid you in your trade. So you see they have given me a message calculated successfully. So it means that we are now on the right track. We are moving gradually. So you see that when it came, it's just something like it's blank, but it's not blank. Okay, because it's not having a wider screen. So you need to scroll to your right hand side. Okay, you need to move on this direction. You have to make sure that you scroll towards this direction. Okay, so if you keep on scrolling to that direction, you see that you see this particular one, and it will demand that you put your password. Okay, so now let's put our payment password, and then we proceed to. Okay, so now that we are done inputting a payment password, let's go ahead to continue to pay or confirm. So as I said, network is always very important. Good network is always important. So for instance, if your phone is having 3G, you can see that I'm having a 4G network, but I'm still facing a challenge. So someone with 3G network will definitely be having more challenges than I am, and someone with Wi-Fi will find it more easy than me. So it is in that category. And so anytime that you are going to do trading, make sure that you check the type of network you are having. Some too are having E or H. So if you are just having E, then I think you are going to sit the whole day and actually not be able to do anything. So you see that Google is asking me to save whether I want to save this information, but it's not necessary, so I'll just have to cancel it. Okay, so now that we are done with what our new retail, okay, so as we all know, the trading after new retail, you have to go to what wholesale retail. So on top there we have a wholesale seated there. Okay, here. Okay, so what do we go and click there to enter to the wholesale zone. So we have clicked one and it has loaded successfully. So just like what I'm saying, I am using 4G network. 5G is not yet ready, but who knows, maybe if you are using 5G, you're going to have it more easier and more faster. So it is in that category. Or maybe Wi-Fi, you are going to have it simple and easy. But if you're having E or 3G, definitely you are going to face a lot of challenges. So now that we're on our wholesale, let's highlight our $20 product. Okay, so our 20 is highlighted. So now this place, I want to explain something. Okay, so this thing has been done this way. I don't know for what reason, but as the network is still on test, we'll get to know it in the near future. But mostly you select diagonal. What I mean by diagonal is, let's say if you are picking the color to be picture, then you have to pick the quantity to be 1 in this form. If you're picking the quantity to be picture, then the color you have to pick random in this form. Okay, I realize that most people try to select the 4. It's not possible. You can't select the 4. Okay. So that is something that we all need to take notice of it. Or you can't select it in this form. You can't select it like this, picture. Okay, but rather you can actually select 1 random. Okay, you can select like this, but apart from that, you cannot select picture. Okay, so mostly I always prefer selecting 1 picture, 1 and picture. Okay, in this form, I always prefer selecting this way. I don't know, but that way works for me almost all the time. But sometimes if I select it that way, it doesn't work. I change the other diagonal. If it doesn't work, then I pick the last option. So one of them must work for me. Okay, so now I've highlighted my 1. And I've highlighted my picture 2 as well. So as I said, I always prefer doing add to chart. Okay, so I'll select add to chart, and let's see what will happen. I think the network is good, but as I said earlier on, it's still a challenge for all of us, and we're all part of the team, so we are all navigating around it to suggest ideas so that see why more can actually come out with a very faster app. So you see that this one did not work, so I always try as much as I'll be able to get the right one. I will be able to get the right one which will work for me. Okay, so Olu 2 can be bought in wholesale area. So you see that it's still a problem. Okay, so yes, so this is the mistake I did. So you see that on the quantity, I didn't actually select 2. On the quantity, I didn't actually select 2. I left it 1. So the system couldn't generate it for me because I can't buy 1 product at the wholesale. I can only buy 2. You get it? So that is why I couldn't get 1. So that means that my picture and random would have worked for me, but I rather did the mistake. So the system was able to. So now let's increase it to 2. Okay, so now we have our 2 products. So let's go ahead to add to chart and we'll see what will happen. Okay, so now it is true. Okay, so we have had it successfully. So as I always say, after you load like this, you check on your add to chart to see if it has been loaded successfully. Okay, so that you see that our add to chart is still 0. Okay, our add to chart is still 0. Our add to chart is still 0. Still 0. So what do we do? We refresh to see if it has really gone successful. So now after I've refreshed, you see that our add to chart has really come clearly, or one has been deposited there. So we go ahead to tap on it or to click on it. So when we click on it, then you should be able to have something like this. So I explained earlier on, and please, if you are still haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please we are all here to help each other. So why don't you do me a favor by just liking my page and subscribing? Okay, I've devoted my time to help you in this form, so you also devote that time and show me appreciation by simply liking my page, leaving a comment if you want, and then subscribing, so that anytime I have any new video, you'll be the first person to have privilege to it. Or you can come at any point in time to leave a comment on which particular topic you want me to I'll be very glad to respond to you. So now let's continue with our tutorial. So you select, when you select, you navigate to your right hand side and you locate go to pay. Okay, so when you locate go to pay and you tap on it, it will load for you. So this time around, we don't need to input our password again, because our password has already been saved there, but it is not yet highlighted. Okay, so we highlight it. So most people always ask that, what about the delivery mode? Do we pick self-pick app, or we do it delivered to me? So this one, it doesn't matter, any of them you can pick. Okay, so but for me, what it means is that if you do self-pick up, it means to go to your service center, for you to go to your service center and pick it yourself. But delivered to me means you have to locate your address and then deliver it to your doorsteps, which I know will be very complicated. So it's always very better to make it self pickup. So that is my point of view, though. You can leave a comment if you have a different opinion to that. I'll be very glad to see that. So we are now navigating to continue to pay. So if we click on continue to pay, depending on our network, it should be loading for us. So there are a lot of things I want to address to, but mostly it's good and it's better off if I hear your views and your concerns on which type of video you would love to see next. In that form, it will be able to help for me to come out with a clear video or a better video. So we'll go ahead to input our password so that we can continue with our tutorial. Okay, so after I've kept my password, let's now load it and see what will happen. So as I said, most of the times it also depends on the network you are having. Okay, so the process has gone through. So now I'm left with just one step. So do you mind to save up? So though I always say that I will save up because the system is still under trial. So anytime you save up, it doesn't actually pick your username. It will generate its own information and save it for you, which will make the whole thing look rough. Okay, so now in this case, now we have this payment successful and we have view orders, and then we have back to home page. So I'll proceed to view all. Okay, so when you proceed to view all, you see that it is now this is how the order look like. Okay, that is, I told you earlier on, anytime you load on this page, always try to navigate yourself from left to right. Okay, from left to right. where the arrow is pointing, just be browsing towards that. The rest of the information, you see it right there. Now, this is what we are seeing right here, and here we have to sell and deliver. Okay, I'm talking about here. So we have deliver and we have to sell. Okay, so now we need to select to sell. Okay, so that we can be able to complete the task. Okay, so let's continue by clicking on to sell. So after we click on to sell, this is what has been loaded. This is what has been loaded. Okay. So now let's still navigate ourselves to my order, which is on top there. Okay, so let's see what happens then. Okay, so though it showed that it was successful, it wasn't successful, so we'll click again on the to sell. So you can see that they are just basic principles that you need to follow, and if you actually don't have an insight of it, I can see, or I can really relate to how frustrating it will be. Like if you have no knowledge about it, you probably might be thinking that you are at the wrong place, or you are getting missing, or something is going wrong somewhere. But in actual terms, nothing is going wrong. You are actually at the right place, and then you just need that guidance to know what you are actually about, or what you are actually doing. So yes, so you see that they have picked up every information that I've kept there. Okay, I've kept up everything on they have picked up every information about what is going on, or about every information that I have kept on for this particular transaction. Okay, so but it still hasn't gone through yet, because they are supposed, or for you to get to know that everything is true and everything is successful, you see that they will give you your time, your date, your day that your product will be sold on your behalf. So mostly you need to keep on trying until when you get that, then you now know that everything has gone successfully, or everything is true, so that error occurred from reading from the store provider. So as I said, you need to always continue trying, because sometimes the network doesn't favor, or the network doesn't always do the best thing for us. And as I said earlier on, CHY promised to come out with the best for all of us, and so I believe that the technical unit, or the technical team, are actually building up everything each and every day. I think they rest because of these particular difficulties we are all facing. So sometimes we just need to be more patient when we are doing our transaction, and follow the simple rules. That is why it is very important that you get guidance, because if you don't get guidance, you can actually land yourself to some some wrong particular things. Maybe who knows, you can end up duplicating your transaction, and at the end of the day you end up losing your points and everything. Okay, so this video is not actually going to be a long video, so you can see that I'm just on the last aspect of it, but it is still giving me difficulties. Okay, so I wasn't facing any problem, everything was moving smoothly until it's now left with the last aspect for me to deliver or to sell, and I'm now facing some little challenges. So you need to keep trying. So sometimes, like, if I try for 4 to 5 times and it doesn't go through, I will just log out and relax myself for like some few minutes, and then come back to continue where I stopped or where I ended. So you can see that we have gone through the right procedure, everything is perfect. It's just left with the last aspect, which is the to sell or sell, and immediately we do the selling, then our date, our time, everything will be loaded for us. And exactly, mostly it's 10 days, 6 hours, 59 seconds. So you can see that this is just the last aspect of it, but it is giving me difficult and tough time. So let's continue again from a while, then we'll see what will happen. If it doesn't come, we just try to navigate through some one of two places, then come back again and try it, and we'll see what will happen. So this and many other challenges I think people are facing. So sometimes, like, you see that I can say for real that it's improving from one stage to the other, because I did couple of trading. I did VIP5 last 3 days. I really had tough time in doing it, even in purchasing from the onset. Okay, I really had problem from trading like the new retail. I didn't find it easy even doing the new retail. After I got the new retail, I went to wholesale. Wholesale wasn't easy. I need to persist until I found my way out. Okay, so I think they are working hard. The team is working very hard, and we need to be more patient with them. You know, nothing is easy. Okay, nothing is easy, but now I know things are gonna be fine along the line, and then we're gonna get back to our normal days where you use less than 2 minutes to do your trading and you are out to continue with whatever you are doing in the society. But as I said, so you need to check around and then come back later to try to see until you get what you want. You are not gonna relax. So I will try 2 to 3 times. If it persists, I will end the tutorials here, because mostly what I do is that when I try 3, 4, 5 times and I'm not successful, I will log out for a while, then come back later to do checkup. So I'm still having difficulties in doing that, so I'll have to try again for the second time, and then I'll get to know what happens. It's okay. So operation successful now. So we are true. Okay. So how do I know that we are true? So you can now see that we have our number of days and our number of hours trending here. Okay, so we have 10 days, 6 hours, 59 minutes, as I said, and then some seconds, attached to it. Okay, so this is how you go about with your trading and some basic tricks inside it. So if you need some other videos of some other tutorials for me to come out, please like my page and then give me a thumb up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Anytime I come online, you get to know it. So until then, I'll say have a blessed day and Dios.